Ja, The Park ist mir schon mehrmals ein bisschen ins Auge gesprungen. Ich habe es aber noch nie irgendwie weiter verfolgt. Narrative experience, dark room, wearing headphones, deals with subject matter disturbing to some players. Manipulate graphics, audio controls and your sanity. Perfectly normal, should not be any cause for alarm. Okay. Ja. Aber wie gesagt, das ist mir schon mehrmals irgendwie ein bisschen ins Auge gesprungen, mal. Hat mich immer mal wieder ein bisschen interessiert, aber nie weiter verfolgt gehabt, das Spiel. Und jetzt das für Oktober und so weiter ganz passend ist.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Okay. Ja. Für Oktober an sich habe ich mir gedacht, ja, könnte ich ja doch endlich mal spielen.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum.
Oh Gott, die Hose.
Stay in the car. I'll go and ask information.
Ja, bleib im Auto, Kind. Wehe, du haust ab. Ja, cooles Cthulhu-Shirt. Nice. Gutes Kind. Kurz gucken. Gameplay. Sensitivity machen wir auch. Shout Visual Guidance. Ja, besser. Rennen kann ich nicht. Schade. Wehe, du verpiss dich. Bleib schön im Auto, ey.
Attention, patrons. The park is now closed.
Closed?
Make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience.
Ja, scheiße.
Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
Muss ich morgen wieder kommen.
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
Atlantic Island Park. A tribute to the untamed heart of Solomon Island and the people who used their talents to bring the dream of Nathaniel Winter to life. May this park be a place where joy and laughter are gathered and used to infect all of those who follow after. Dedicated this first day of May 1977. James B. Longley. Okay. Hallo. Hallo. Der Scheißpark ist gerade eben erst zugegangen. Und die Leute sind schon weg. Was? Oh. Oh, ich habe meine Medizin nicht genommen.
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath and think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop!
Cam, du dummer Sack!
I think your boy just ran into the park.
Ich hab doch gesagt, du sollst im Auto bleiben. Oh.
Wait for mommy, Callum.
Over here.
Ach, dummes Kind. Nathaniel Winter welcomes you to Atlantic Island Park. Atlantic Island Park. Welcome to Atlantic Island Park. When I first came to visit Solomon Island, I fell deeply in love with its natural beauty, its scenic place, and I created many of my best memories here. I wanted to create a place that captures the essence of Solomon Island, a place where families would bring their children to create memories of their own. I invite you to explore this park that we have created, from the Ferris wheel which rivals the local lighthouse for the best views of the area, to the sideshow alley where we have many fascinating games and objects from the local area to explore. Enjoy, Nathaniel Winter. Chad the Chipmunk recommends, for the little ones, Try the Tunnel of Tales for a gentle, family-friendly retelling of timeless fairy tales. If that sounds a little too slow, grab an adult and jump on the bumper cars. Full throttle fun for everyone. For the teens, pump your adrenaline by going through a spin cycle on the Octotron. Then defy the laws of gravity on our award-winning roller coaster. Finish it all up in the House of Horrors, but be warned, it might scare all the fun out of you. For the big ones, take a romantic spin on the Ferris wheel with your significant other and take in the natural beauty of Solomon Island. Follow it up with a stroll through the exotic sights and wild games of the Sideshow Alley, where there truly is something for everybody at Atlantic Park. Drink bingo! Once you've left Atlantic Island Park, there's still so much to do here on Solomon Island. Present this brochure to your local business partners to save big dollar. Places to eat. Sunshine Deli. Whether a light snack or something more substantial, the Sunshine Deli can find a way to satisfy your craving. Susie's Diner. Laid back dining in the heart of Kingsmouth. Susie is the place to go to meet the friendly locals and sample their famous canned preserves. The Lobster Trap. When in Maine, eat lobster. Lobster Trap has the freshest, finest seafood that exists. Reservations are recommended. Natürlich sind wir in Maine, im Stephen King Bundesstaat. Natürlich ist hier Horrorzeug. Places to sleep. Overlook Motel. Oh, Stephen King Referenz, nice. Run by Eddie Stone, the Overlook Motel has the best beds on the island for the most reasonable prices. And the best part is that the motel is located just a few hundred meters up the road from Atlantic Island Park. Jack and Wendy's Bed and Breakfast. For those who prefer a more intimate setting, Jack and Wendy have several beds available. They are very popular during the season, so call early to avoid disappointment. Okay, Moment, mal kurz die Dinger angucken. 1743, 1362, 1113, 1775, okay. Hätte ja sein können, dass da irgendwie noch eine Anspielung in den Telefondingern war.
A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention employees, the park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
Soll das so sein? Oh. Ist aber schnell Nacht geworden. Ah, ich kann endlich rennen, nice. Ein dummes Kind! Bleib da, du Sack! Alter, wenn ich den erwische. Seit wann kann ein Kind schneller rennen als seine Mutter? Carrie Killian is Satan's whore! What? Ist aber nicht nett. Was hast du verpasst? Ah, nicht viel. Wir sind nur in den Park gegangen, weil unser Kind reingegangen ist. Nee, Mutter ist nicht schwanger. Die haben wir schon gesehen. in der Zwischensequenz oder zumindest nicht sichtbar schwanger. Also die müsste eigentlich recht fit sein. Ja, wir waren anscheinend im Park. Also das ist die Story bisher. Wir waren im Park, Lieblingspark von unserem Sohn. Der hat da drin seinen Teddybär verloren irgendwie und jetzt ist das dumme Kind wieder reingelaufen. Keine Ahnung.
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
Come on, this way.
Und wir haben einen B to Callum Button, ähnlich wie in Heavy Rain mit Press X to Jason.
I think this belongs to Callum.
Dreckskind.
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Nice. Chad the Chipmunk welcomes you to Atlantic Island Park. Chad can be seen in daily ice sculpting shows in the following locations. Blah, 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 blah. Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. Chad will have a dead-end job. Chad will die a useless slob. Nice.
Come out, sweetie.
This way, Mommy.
Mimi, yeah.
Stop, Callum! Callum, stay where you are.
Ja, dummes Kind.
Come back.
Come on, Mommy.
Up, Mommy.
A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or suck.
Come to Mommy, Callum.
Mir ist gerade eingefallen, ich hätte eventuell, bevor ich in den Park gegangen bin, noch mal ins Auto schauen können, um zu gucken, ob der tatsächlich weg ist.
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or sup. What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there. No, my wife, I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool.
Fool!
Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep. Do not fret, Gretel, Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets.
Was, Steine?
The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day. Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself, the wife told the woodcutter. In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again.
Erdbeben!
Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed. Abandoned by their parents and unable to find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for 3 days. The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls. Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who's nibbling at my house? An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you. But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother. Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you. The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside, the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed.
Hey!
Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. Your brother will make a good mouthful, the old witch told Gretel. Once he is fattened up, I shall feast upon him.
What?
Time passed, and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part, grew impatient. Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven. But Gretel pretended not to understand. I do not know how. Where is the opening? Fool, the old witch said. The opening is here. And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage, brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bolt over the door to the oven. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled, and the witch was cooked.
Nice.
And then, because even children can't survive
Whoa.
on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch and ate her.
Was? Was? So kenne ich's aber nicht.
Callum, where did you go? Callum, where did you go?
Callum! Was? Okay. Ja gut. Das hat jetzt nicht sehr viel gebracht. Außer, dass mein Sohn jetzt wahrscheinlich Gott weiß wo
Hansel and Gretel.
hingelaufen ist.
I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, looking for our own house made of candy, looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away. Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws.
Okay.
Callum! Another accident. This place.
Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried. The customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduced what was needed from the banned writings of Archie Henderson. It's astonishing to think that the resonance of positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make this, will not make his mistakes. Very soon I will know if this has all been for nothing. Okay, warum hat der... Okay. Keine Kindergeschichte. Naja, also an sich hat's ja ein Happy End. Die Geschichte an sich ist halt, ja, es ist halt schon ein bisschen heftig, aber es ist halt so eine Moralgeschichte. Und wenn alles friedlich und freundlich und so Zeug ist, lernen die Kinder ja nichts draus.
This old thing used to make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy.
Aber am Ende kommen sie ja wieder nach Hause und
Those poor kids.
Und der Vater behält sie ja irgendwie dann und Zeug, irgendwie, keine Ahnung. Eyewitness report. We were waiting for our turn on the ride, Frank, me and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I've always been a bit wary of those suits. They give me the creeps. It's silly, I know. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he was carving and picking away at the ice, and at first we thought he was making some animal, like a tiger or lion, but as more and more ice fell away, when he first looked, it was like a human face smiling out of that block of ice. But the more you looked at it, the more you saw that there was something not quite right about the proportions, something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster, like you were prey and that thing in the ice was a hunter. But then these teenagers walked up and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments it was chaos. Everybody was running away from the guy who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing with the ice pick, and blood was spraying and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. And the last thing I saw before Frank dragged me away was that the eyeball of one of those poor kids had landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive. Huh. Nice.
Callum!
Callum! Was lernen sie? Ja, dass man halt nicht einfach so in fremde Häuser geht und Zeug. Increase speed, yeah. 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 Nice. Schneller. Yeah, Octotron. Moment, wenn da jetzt keiner drin ist. Oder ist da jetzt jemand drin? Auf einmal ist da jemand drin, was? Frau, wolltest du nicht nach deinem Sohn suchen? Wieso zum Fick fährst du jetzt eigentlich mit den Sachen? Außer man stößt die Besitzer in den Ofen. Genau, ja. Moral von der Geschichte. Brech niemals... Was? Brech niemals irgendwo ein, außer du bringst die Bewohner um. Dann ist alles gut. Komischer Boogeyman. Aber wer zum Fick hat denn bitte das Ding gesteuert jetzt?
Come out, sweetie.
Poroid.
Oh, I remember this.
Me and Callum. Die sehen aber nicht besonders glücklich aus. Fuck. Im Hintergrund ist ein komischer Typ.
Come out, sweetie. Treachery hides in thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides. The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single, traitorous thought. I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of season here really drags. There aren't that many tourists around, and so most of the staff spend their days standing around gossiping. And most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean, Steve. See? Even I am starting to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning it was a loth. Steve, the local lush, as Chet the chipmunk. Child-friendly mascot at Atlantic Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears that suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first it was little things, like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home with him every day. But then I saw him at Susie's diner still wearing it, and it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained discreetly to park management about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass wherever Steve walks by. Whenever. And apparently Steve has picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him puking up in a gutter outside the Psy-Coil station. Because he sure as hell can carve a mean eye sculpture.
Those shapes he makes in the eyes, though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me, and he just hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was just staring at me, sizing me up. Me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted and he just stood there, not saying anything. Especially, eventually, I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see the chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henmans. Ah! Spoopy.
Callum! Where did you go?
Ja, und Thomas, gehör. Was ist denn das? Was soll denn das? Ist aber nicht nix für Kinder. War cool. Komische Cthulhu-Ente. Nice.
Constant crashes and 80s music. Guess it floats someone's boat.
Yeah, Autoscooter fahren. Nice. Ja. Okay. Ah, wo ist es hin?
Callum? Hello?
Catch me, Mami. Ja, wenn ich dich in die Finger bekomme, Alter. Gibt's Hausarrest. Jung. Accident report. Employee's name. Francis Dufresne. Dufresne, ist das schon wieder eine Anspielung auf Stephen King? Mit Shawshank. 1976. Laborers working on the crane. Supervisor Richard Stapleton. Witnesses Lawrence Creed, Michael Edgeworth. Brief description of the accident or incident. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the truck came untight, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the cars. Describe any injuries caused. Francis was killed. Did the injured employee see a doctor? Yes. If yes, did you file an employee's portion of a workers' compensation form? Yes. Supervisor's comments. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the load, undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing that. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. Ah, also denken, der war hier auf Drogen. What could have been done to prevent this accident? Double checking of the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. Have the unsafe conditions been corrected? No. Additional comments. The local laborers are very superstitious and this hasn't helped. Some of them are refusing to return to work until we have someone from the local church walk the park and exorcise the bad spirits. What? Wow! Ja, scheiße, ne? Ich weiß nicht.
Mommy is coming, Callum.
Ach, der wird da wahrscheinlich nicht drin sein. Wäh. Baby. Hatte jemand sein Baby vergessen? Das wär's.
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
Continually delayed by the incompetence of the builders. The problem is that they are locals and so they believe a lot of the rumors about what old man Henderson used to do here. They grew up on those tales. Every time a bolt comes loose or a wrench goes missing, those fools are crossing themselves against the black magic. Of course, that is why I chose this side over all the other potentials. Solomon Island is a nexus for dark energies and the thought of all that power just dissipating beneath the earth here. It makes my skin crawl. I called in a few favors back in Brooklyn and got someone at the local academy to see if they had any interesting books about local history. Turns out they do. And it turns out that old man Henderson has some pretty strong connections to the Brooklyn crowd. Perhaps something he wrote will help me find the piece of the plans that I am missing.
Stay where you are.
Wäh. Nice. Abkürzung. Yeah. Von oben finde ich mein Kind bestimmt. Besserer Ausblick und so.
People come into your life for a reason. Dad used to say that before Mom ran off. After that, he mostly just drank. Things were different for Don and I. When we met, I was sweeping the floor at Susie's diner. He came in with some workers, but he didn't try to flirt or cop a feel like the others. He just ordered a coffee and sat there, watching me. When my shift was over, he offered to walk me home. I don't know how to describe that walk. We talked and laughed and eventually kissed. It felt like love. It felt like a fairy tale. I can't tell you if Callum was made that night or one of the ones that followed. But I think it has to be that night. That one perfect night. Don and I moved in together, but then, well, he died.
Oh.
According to the supervisor, his safety harness failed when he was working on the top of the Ferris wheel. Don was there one moment, and then gone. Sometimes people leave your life for no reason. I was 3 months pregnant with Callum. Fairy tale fucking over.
Ey, der schon wieder.
Mommy is coming, Callum.
Was ist hier denn passiert? Wurde Kurs Ticket. Mal. Oh. Wenigstens ist der Weg jetzt frei.
Callum, tell Mommy where you are. A lot of people idolize their children. You hear them talking about their kids and just the way they talk, their fucking voices make me want to vomit. My angel likes to read, and little Johnny is so good on the piano. Fuck those people! You give up 9 months of your life carrying them, you traumatize yourself giving birth to them, and then you spend the rest of your life as their slave. Wiping asses, mopping up piss, feeding them. Little life-sucking monsters who take and take and take until... we all go insane. Any parent who pretends otherwise is just dishonest. That's called choice supportive bias. I am honest. Callum really grinds my gears, and he owes me everything. Everything. It served the little fuck right if I just abandoned him.
Okay.
I always wanted to ride this one. Never got around to do it before.
Jetzt haben wir ja Zeit. Yeah, roller coaster.
What do you want?
We need to talk about Callum.
Na?
What do you mean? What have you done to him?
That's insulting. You and your boy are everything that this place doesn't want. The antithesis of what we stand for.
Oh.
Where is Callum?
The poor child. He tried so hard to do what he was taught. He even left you a trail of breadcrumbs. But the park is just so hungry.
Tell me where my son is.
The witch has him now. Has both of you. No happy ending here, I'm afraid.
Just leave me alone.
Fool. You always were.
That. So schnell kann ich nicht lesen. Nice. Nope. Oh, nice. Kind umgefahren. Sehr cool. Normal. It works. The calculations and adjustments worked. The transport and storage mechanisms seem to be flawless. What a wonderful day. If only these people knew what they were fueling. And so what if a few people leave the park at the end of the day feeling... Dauer? Man? Dauer. So what if the children are more scared than excited on the roller coaster? This could be the doorway to immortality, and such doorways open only to those who have the will to find the key. Okay.
The witch awaits.
Witch.
This isn't a game, Callum!
Echt so?
Callum has bruises on his arms, finger marks. Someone has been hurting him.
What?
I've asked him, demanded really, to know where he got the marks. But he doesn't want to answer me. Something has scared him into silence. He doesn't dare talk. He's been changing too. Something sinister lurks in the darkness behind his eyes. I catch him staring at me at odd moments. In the night, he tosses and turns and cries out words that I cannot understand. When I try to soothe him, he snaps and bites at my fingers. I think he wants to talk to me. I think he wants to tell me. But they are watching him every minute of every day. They are whispering to him in his sleep, changing him. They are taking my baby away from me. I can save him. And there will be pain. But I love him, and in the end, he will understand why. I'm not playing anymore, Callum!
What are you scared of?
What?
The whole town was shocked by that one. Never found out who did it.
Cotton candy corpse leaves sour taste in park goers' mouths. Yesterday evening, visitors to Atlantic Island Park were shocked and horrified by the discovery of a dismembered corpse behind the cotton candy stand. According to the local authorities, the corpse is yet to be identified. However, they have confirmed that the remains appear to be those of a child. The corpse was discovered by a group of teenagers from Innsmouth Academy who noticed a pair of ravens tugging at something just out of sight behind the shack. Nathaniel Winter, the owner of Atlantic Island Park, has released the following statement. It is a true tragedy when something like this occurs, especially in a place that was designed to bring forth happiness and joy. The staff of Atlantic Island Park offer their condolences to the family and friends of the victim and will cooperate fully with authorities to help bring this case to rest. The Solomon Chronicle will provide daily updates on this story going forward. Oh. What a check.
Callum, where are you? Who did this to him?
Der Clown war's. Ah!
Come back!
Don't let him take me.
What?
I can help you, Callum.
Keep them away from me.
Yep.
Callum? Callum!
Don't let the witch put me in the oven.
Come back! Callum, where are you? These are mine.
Ah. Fuck gravity. What? He's a fat pig, but his daughter is hot. Nice. I can taste your dreams. Not safe. The leak. Your mother. Only dead fish follow the stream. Your mother? Clearly she has high standards. Say no to graffiti. All that you love will be carried away. Some kids laugh and some kids cry, but mostly children simply die. 1980s. Yeah. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Reagan. Don't believe anything they tell you. Fear the bogey man. Stop picking your nose then. But yeah, fuck gravity. Pew. Nice. Yeah. Nice. But
Don't touch me.
what? Future times. Belly button is the signature of your personal creator. I believe her name was Mama. Every 17th child is a magnet for sinfulness, made omniscient by broken fires in the coastal strain. We don't believe that the earth belongs to battered goats and shamrock afterbirth. Only the truly naked wrens of righteous indignation are severed by war-crossed cleavages in trust exercise arrhythmia. Beaumont will come to the island, bearing the talisman, and he will shatter the seals that bind the orthodoxy of corruption. Only then will priests shoot, sluts reveal, housewives pontificate, and delayed messiahs make axles for the rescue of tango and cash. Sweet the temptress who grips the shaft, twists the shaft, absconding with third age tire into fourth age darkness, while gods lie writhing on the shattered face of the earth. Gaia has sweetness and grace, but her days are numbered, and heavy-fisted hives break before frozen wills, and telegraphic actresses in pencil and paper pornography. The all-seeing eye will provide decade-long updates on this story going forward. What? Wer hat das denn geschrieben? Boom. Picked punks.
Okay, no.
Boom.
The park is a collage of contradictions all of its own. Millions of people die every year in car crashes, and the park has little cars designed specifically to simulate that action. Hear the children scream with joy. In the sideshow alley, you can walk away with 15 cents worth of mass-produced Chinese teddy bears, while a grinning carny pockets your hard-earned $5. What secrets lie beneath the sullen waters of the lake? The tears of jilted lovers, the soiled condoms of illicit affairs, the clotted blood of the lonely suicide. And the face of the witch looms over it all. I always despised her toothy grin and warty nose. I hate that sparkle in her weathered, watchful eyes. I think Callum is waiting for me. Inside.
Ja. Yay, Taschenlampe. Done. Atlantic Island Park has closed its gates. A cheering throng of town folk gathered as we hung the heavy iron padlock on the gates. Small-minded fools scared of what they don't understand. My machines lie silent and dejected, but I am not beaten. I have sent my wife and son back to Boston, and I have retreated here to the House of Horrors. I must think. Okay. Slenderman 2.
What have you done with her?
Bah! Bah! Okay. Boom.
Don't leave me!
Get away!
Dann halt nicht. Ah! Nein, komischer Nazi. Nazi-Zombie. Ah! It's a boogeyman. Ah! Was, Page? Stand oben links gerade irgendwas mit Page. Ah, da. Incidents and I cannot dismiss them as random chance. The park works, but something is interfering with its intended function. It's as though the very air in this place is corrupting the power even as I collect it. A few casualties here and there are acceptable, but when employees go on stabbing rampages, it draws attention. I'd rather not have the boys in blue, either kind, investigating this place too closely. It's a shame about Steve. I rather liked him. Oh. Shame. Gruselig. Ah! Hey, der schon wieder. Ciao. Hallo.
Show yourself.
Open door. Nightmare Circus. A circus burns to the ground on opening night, killing dozens. The owner is put to death by an enraged mob of townsfolk, just as he shouts out a curse. Now Raven, a dark-souled wanderer, comes to the ruins at dusk in search of his missing mother. Let the show begin. Okay. Zigaretten.
After they let me out, they gave me Callum back and sent me home with a handful of breadcrumbs. Home, bittersweet home. I barely recognized it. Where there had been color and light, there were shadows and regrets. Where there had been warmth, there was a bone-deep coldness that never went away. I tried my hardest to keep the ghosts at bay. Don, watching from the dusty corners while I tried to teach his son to read. My father, coldly assessing me and finding me lacking. I devoted myself to Callum, did the things that they told me. It will get better, they said. Every day will be a little better than the last. I'm in the woods now, lost and afraid. Things never got any better.
Disconnect notice. After multiple attempts to collect payment, we regret to inform you that your service has been disconnected or will be disconnected shortly. Please do the following: make the payment listed on the last bill, contact us, and we can arrange a payment plan so that you can immediately be reconnected. If you believe that this is an error, call us to discuss your options. If you are unable to make payment, please contact your local welfare office to discuss a placement for you and your loved ones. Winter in Maine is cold and brutal. Don't face it without electricity. The Dunwich Power Company. Shocking true story. Hunger. The true story of the Donners. Famine Press. Oh, 67. Glückwunsch. On April 16, 1846, a group of covered wagons began the 2,500-mile journey to California. Just 8 months later, they found themselves stranded in the Sierra Nevada mountains with very little to buy or sup. It was to become one of the greatest tragedies. Kann die bitte aufhören, so rumzueiern? One of the greatest tragedies of westward migration that the world had ever seen. Now our panel of Donner experts have uncovered compelling evidence that the families were forced to resort to cannibalism in order to survive the terrible winter. In this never-before-seen expose read about how the Donner children were forced to eat their brothers and sisters in order to survive. All here in the pages of this shocking true story. God. Susan Anscombe, The Wilting. With this novel, Susan Anscombe cements her place as one of the most important science fiction writers of a generation. The Wilting. A solar flare has struck the Earth. Millions of people are uprooted from their homes. A young meteorologist searches desperately for a way to stop global overheating. And an exotic dancer named Chance O'Hara is the key to saving the world. Again! Dynamic, exciting, bombastic. Everything we've come to expect from an Anscombe novel. Chance O'Hara is back, and you'd better believe that she's bigger, better and bolder than ever. Hört sich scheiße an. G. I love you, from Callum.
Don't leave me.
Shopping list. Milk, cheese, bread, butter, corn, potato, apples, fish sticks. Remember, drop off Callum electricity bill, fix faucet. Wrench.
Show yourself.
Show yourself. Ooh. Open door. Hühnchen. Nice. Oder sonstiges Geflügel. Lorraine, I received your letter and I am quite surprised. You ran off with your father all of those years ago, then disappeared off the edge of the map, and then when I finally tracked you down, refused to answer any of my letters. And now you write to me asking for help. I have another family now and another life. Your father was a horrible man and I regret the years that I wasted with him. I loved you, I truly did, but every year you grew more and more like him. You were his girl, never really mine. Still, I would have fought for custody if you hadn't run away with him. It broke my heart, but I needed to go on living. I can't let you back into my life without picking open old wounds. I'm sorry, Lorraine, but I just can't do it. Maybe one day it will be easier and I can meet Callum, but not yet. I'm not ready to forgive you. Please don't contact me again, Karen. Karen! Emergency service, Miss Maillard. As we agreed in our meeting today, we consider you fully recovered from your illness. This letter is official notification that you are considered sound of mind and body and may return to work at any time. Please note that you should discontinue any medication that you have been using and dispose of any remaining medicines. If you feel at any time that you are suffering a relapse, then please make contact with your local physician immediately. We wish you continued good health. Dr. Spencer, Dunwich Medical. Was ist das denn für eine Unterschrift, bitte? Hier.
What have you done with him?
Mit derartigen Linienführung. Also ich kenne schon, ich kenne Leute oder habe schon Leute gesehen, die schreiben wie eine Schreibmaschine. Also die können ohne irgendwelche Hilfe extrem präzise und super steril, so sagen wir mal, schreiben. Es gibt tatsächlich Leute, aber sind die wenigsten. Emergency Service. Patient Lorraine Kimberly Maylard. Diagnosis: depression. Lorraine seems to be suffering from depression that began early in her pregnancy. Our discussions have made it obvious that these episodes stem from the grief of losing her partner, Don, who died about 6 months ago. There are also several unresolved issues with her father. After being kept under careful observation, we provided standard treatment for this disorder, including electroconvulsion therapy. Wann war das? 1977. The patient responded and made a rapid recovery. Aftercare recommendations, weekly follow-up with a local physician, mood stabilizers, lithium-based. Das macht keinen Sinn. Weil in dem Zeug haben sie geschrieben, dispose of any remaining medicines. Und da hier steht drin, die soll weiter Medizin nehmen. Discharge instructions. Lorraine has a newborn son, Callum, who was placed in foster care shortly after birth when Lorraine displayed symptoms of disorientation and depression. It is our judgment that Lorraine is fit to have her son returned to her, and as long as she follows her recommended aftercare routine and continues with her medication, we have faith that she will be an effective caregiver. Lorraine has her own housing and her employer, Susie, has said that she is welcome to return to her shifts at the diner. Norma Creed, a local woman, has offered to take care for Callum while Lorraine works. It is with this support network in mind that we feel confident releasing Lorraine from this institution. Medical instructions. A prescription of Soul Lift, nice. Also es gibt die Medizin Loft hier, damit es keine Probleme mit denen gibt, wegen hier Copyright-Zeug. Gibt's in dem Spiel Lift, nice. Prescription for Lift that can be filled at Flag's Pharmacy in Kingsmouth. She has been advised to start with a 50 milligram dose and then, based on the advice of a doctor, to increase the medication as needed. Bei langer manischer Depression. Unter Anästhesie. So, hier irgendwelche Anwälte. Ms. Maillard, our inquiry into the estate of Mr. Donald Williams has been completed. We regret to inform you that the primary beneficiaries of his estate, including the life insurance settlement for accidental death, were listed as Rose Williams and Richard Williams of New York State, the deceased's parents. Our agency made contact with Mr. and Mrs. Williams and explained your situation, especially as regards the birth of Donald's son Callum. Unfortunately, they were not receptive to our overtures, and they specified that without any legal proof of a biological relationship, they consider you ineligible to receive any of the monies. from Donald's estate. They have asked that we no longer contact them regarding this matter. I understand that this may have a negative impact on your current financial situation, and I hope that I am not being too forward when I enclose the bill for our services with this letter. Oof. Quack. Was? Ich bin mir jetzt PT. Lorraine, things aren't right between us at the moment. I know I want to try and explain it. I think it is because I am so far from home and I am working so hard. Every day working at the park, it gets worse, like a spring inside my mind, winding tighter and tighter and tighter. When we go for drinks after work, it gets a little better. The guys relax and we laugh and we're good people again. I don't want to come home to you without being in my right mind. But when this job is done, we need to get out of this place. We need to go back to the city, where I don't feel like this anymore. I love you, Donald. P.S. I was thinking about names for boys and girls. I like Callum for a boy, and Emma if it is a girl. Steht da eventuell was anderes? Yeah. In the spring of 1933 in the Soviet Ukraine, an entire population found themselves without food. Over the course of the coming months, the situation grew critical and reports of mass malnutrition began to filter into the upper echelons of government. The people had been left with very little to bite or sup. It was to become one of the greatest tragedies of mass starvation that the world had ever seen. Now our panel of Soviet experts have uncovered compelling evidence that the families were forced to resort to cannibalism in order to survive that terrible winter. In this never-before-seen exposure, read about how the starving parents cooked and ate their own children in order to survive. All here in the pages of this shocking true story. Ja. Okay, da ist bestimmt irgendwas. Irgendwas ist da bestimmt richtig. Irgendwas versteckt. Sie, Sir, she, shy, lab.
Don't make me look at it.
Wilting, solar flare, millions of people uprooted from their homes, young meteorologist, way to stop global overheating, and an exotic dancer named Lorraine is the key to saving the world again. From Lorraine novel, Lorraine is back and you'd better believe that she's bigger, better and bolder than ever. I love you. Suck! So lift prescription. Remember, take the pills. Follow up with Dr. Spencer. Organize babysitter for Callum. Cube Escape Film auf YouTube. Spiel auf Steam. Cube Escape Film. Interessant. Ach stimmt, Cube Escape wollten wir ja. Wollten wir auch nachholen, das neue. Oder neueste. I didn't run away, Dad took me. Blaine has received your letter. Bla. Und ansonsten alles gleich. Okay. Ah ja, Paradox. Das Paradox hat aber, glaube ich, ein DLC, ne? Kapitel 2, was glaube ich, irgendwie so 2-3 Euro oder so kostet. Thank you, William, for the new watch. It is very nice. It has made me a happy carrot. Nice. Okay, nichts Neues, außer ein bisschen verblasst. Stopp! Nightmare Circus. A chipmunk goes a stabbing in the eyes, a jabbing, and all the townies gabbing. Just lie down and let it happen. Basil Ganglia win. When we go for drinks after work. Also. Huh. 2,39. Naja. Können wir eventuell dann, wenn ich mit Kindergarten 2 fertig bin, dann das Cube Escape am Ende vom Stream immer machen. A long time ago, in a forest in the woods, there lived a woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children, a boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor, blah 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 blah. They were very poor and had very little to buy or sup. The story has been doctored to hide the truth from the unsuspecting public. Now our panel of fairy tale experts have uncovered compelling evidence that Hansel and Gretel were in fact eaten alive. In this never-before-seen expose, read about how their parents inexpertly tried to cover it up by telling stories about a witch and a house made of candy. All here in this pages of this shocking fake story. Nice. Babi babuba. Her lie. Her why. See her try. Bye bye. She blah blah blah. Her cry. I love you. Milligramm. Take 2 tablets by mouth in the morning, then 1 tablet whenever you have an episode. Milk, soul of prescription. Cheese, soul of prescription. Remember, more pills. Tickets to Atlantic Island Park. Ich glaube, Antidepressiva sind nicht so besonders gut mit Wein. History of Solomon Island.
Given to me!
Has made me a happy carrot. Boogeyman.
What have you done with him?
Boogeyman goes a walking, sneaking, stealing, and stalking. Is it really a talking? Now is not the time for balking. Cerebral cortex win. What? Nice. Nice. The woodcutter is dead, the witch always wins. The woodcutter is dead, the witch always wins. Blah 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 blah. All here in the pages of this broken story. Broken? Mein neues Baby. Was? Ehe wie... Ja. Ne? Bye, bye, bye. Say, bye, bye. Her, why? Ask her why? Das macht keinen Sinn. Say bye bye. See her lie. See her try. Goo goo gaga. Can you hear us, Lorraine? A sun will. Cattle. Shadow. Domination. Listen, Lorraine. Irrepressible. Answer us, Lorraine. Lorraine, we are watching. My two best friends, Dawn and Laura. Nice. Remember, you are alone. Nobody loves you. Callum is no longer who he once was. Oh, lecker. But ice pick. Oof. Whoa, 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 whoa. Epic carrot. Na, endlich ist die Kacktür offen. Ah! What? As we agreed in our meeting today, we consider you to be batshit fucking insane. Let's be clear, you are in no way sound of mind and body, and you are a danger to everybody around you. Please note that your only escape from this should be drugs. A shitload of them. Smoking, snorting, oral, intravenous. Take them any way you can and as often as you can. That shit can only make your life better. In case there was any doubt, you are suffering a relapse and nobody really cares. Nobody can help you now. Don't fuck this up. Dr. Spock. Spock. The Dr. Spock. Ja, gucken, ne? Thank you, William. The new watch is nice. It has made me a happy carrot. Lorraine, I need you to focus on what we are discussing. The chipmunk killer, Steve Gardner, he was locked away for what he did to those kids. Nathaniel Winter hasn't been seen in years, but he is nowhere near Atlantic Island Park. We've established this. You know this. The killing, a son will be devoured, all the cattle will be enslaved, the shadow lies on your future, our domination. If you listen, Lorraine, you are key to damning the world. We are irrepressible, you can only join us, Lorraine. Lorraine, we are one. We're talking, can you hear us, Lorraine? See her lie, say bye-bye. See him die. Ask her why, see her try, see her cry. Forget. Done. Dead. Not him. Wer ist denn das? Ihhh.
Who was that?
Who was it? You will watch me rot. What? Na, endlich vorbei.
Stories are told again and again, and from their shape we build our understanding of the world. Two children are led into the woods. They are lost for a time, but then are captured by an old witch. A child goes missing in Atlantic Island Park. He wanders lost for a time before finding his way into the mouth of an old witch. In the oldest version of this story, the mother and the witch were the same person. I never
Echt?
wanted to be the witch. But I am, aren't I?
Stimmt das? Kids broke in today. It has been so long since I heard laughter. So very long. I took one of them. I couldn't help myself. It was fast. The others didn't notice. I liked hearing him laugh. This boy from the academy. I put him on a slab. I tickled him until he couldn't breathe. My machines came to life, wearing in time to his gasps and shrieks. I think this is delightful. The change wrought in me by the machines is not yet complete. There must be other children I can lay on my slab. Eyes without sparkle. Wie viel grausamer. Ja, das wusste ich auch, dass die halt an sich, also die Originalversion, um einiges heftiger sind. Aber dass angeblich die Mutter auch die Hexe ist im Original. Das war mir neu. Könnte ich mir schon gut vorstellen. Irgendwie.
Callum. Callum!
Aufpassen.
Callum. Callum.
Nee, der hat sogar seinen Schuh noch nur einen Schuh an. Sehr cool. Ah! Wieso hat der rote Augen? Yeah, Cthulhu. Dem sein Shirt ist anders. Ganz am Anfang war nämlich ein Viech. Oder halt so ein Typ noch. So ein kleiner Ritter. Mit einem Schwert auf seinem Shirt. Was?
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time.
Ha, zum Beispiel ein Sohn. Warum? Was hat... So hat eine Was?
Take a deep breath and think about the last place you saw your son.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Interessant. Also von einer Storytelling-Perspektive war es gar nicht mal so scheiße. Zumindest halt Anfang und Ende. Das mittendrin... Naja, irgendwie komisch. Also diese Geschichte mit dem Stevie-Typen, der durchgedreht ist und dann irgendwie diese Unfälle. Weiß nicht, ob die da tatsächlich irgendwie einen tieferen Sinn hatten oder so. Aber so an sich diese persönliche Geschichte von der Lorraine und dem Callum und dem Don war nicht schlecht. Ist halt sehr vage und sehr offen. Weil so während der Zeit, als wir immer wieder durch das Haus gelaufen sind, hatte ich so ein bisschen die Vermutung, eventuell eben weil ihr Strom abgestellt wurde und weil es Winter war und weil sie hungrig war und so Zeug, dass es irgendwie so ein bisschen drauf angespielt hat, dass sie eventuell irgendwie tatsächlich ihren eigenen Sohn umgebracht und aus Not gegessen hat und das irgendwie verschweigen wollte. Aber dann gibt's eben diese komischen Hinweise von dem Typen, von diesem Winter-Typen. Moment. Der Typ heißt Winter. Das hätte natürlich dann auch wieder so eine Anspielung sein können von dem Elektrizitätszeug, dass der Winter in Maine so grausam sein kann und Zeug. Also wenn man ein bisschen drüber nachdenkt und tiefer blickt, ist es interessant auf jeden Fall. Ist auf jeden Fall eine Story, wo die nicht ganz klar erzählt wird, aber ich denke mal genug Informationen gibt, um sich ein eigenes Bild, das mehr oder weniger klar ist, machen zu können. Und wo es auch wieder um Interpretation und so geht. Fand ich eigentlich gar nicht mal so schlecht. Hat mir insgesamt grob schon gefallen irgendwie. War natürlich ein bisschen verwirrend. Besonders dann halt jetzt am Ende mit dem Eispick-Ding und ja. Ob dieses Erstechen von ihrem Sohn einfach nur so symbolisch war oder ob sie tatsächlich ihr Kind umgebracht hat oder halt wie gesagt irgendwie symbolisch dafür war, weiß nicht, mit vielleicht sich eingestehen, ja, ich bin, oder halt sich irgendwie Vorwürfe machen, ich bin irgendwie schuld, dass mein Sohn tot ist oder so. Was ich halt auch interessant fand an der Situation oder an dem Moment war, dass dieser Boogeyman ihre Hände zwar über das Herz von ihrem Sohn gelenkt haben, aber bevor sie zugestochen hat, der mit den Händen weggegangen ist. Also dass im Endeffekt sie aus ihrem Willen und ihrer Kraft heraus sozusagen zugestochen hat und nicht der Boogeymann das für sie übernommen hat. Aber ja, fand ich eigentlich gar nicht mal so scheiße. War schon sehr interessant.